Welcome back, everybody, to Saymore. This is Kim, the host of Saymore and the founder of MIE Mind, where we talk everything about energy and mind. We're in season 3, everything about women and weight and why is it different from everybody else, right? Today, I have the pleasure of introducing Laura Manning. If you know me personally or you've seen me in any pictures, I talk about my tea time and how that space is so sacred to me. Today, Laura is going to walk us through literally everything about her company, her passion through BRW Society. I'm just going to look in my phone and read out everything to you. So Laura Manning is the founder of BRW Society, a UAE-based tea brand which she created to help people like you and me, who are squeezing the most out of their life to actually slow down, savor the moment, and connect with themselves and others. Laura is doing this by creating colorful and exciting tea blends inspired by nature that captivate your senses and brew up a conversation. I just love that. With that said,
Wow.
Laura, welcome to Saymore.
Thank you so much for having me. Such a pleasure to be with you today.
It is such a pleasure to host you. You know, before we went live, I was telling you, for me, my tea time is the most sacred part of the day, whether it's the morning or whether it's the 4 p.m. part of it. And just hearing that that has health benefits and it's not like just an addiction, it's like, yay.
Yeah. Oh, tea has a plethora of benefits, and I think we're only scratching the surface. We're getting so much more creative now with our teas and sourcing teas from all different places around the world. There's so much more to come, and tea is just, I find, fascinating and absolutely incredible.
I completely agree with you. Laura, take us back into why BRW Society and what was that turning point? When did you decide that, you know what, this is my offering that I want people to remember me for?
Well, it all started back in 2018 when I moved to Dubai. I've always been a huge tea fan, you know, growing up. I have the most warmest memories of drinking tea with my family back at home in the UK. And when I moved to Dubai in the summer of 2018, I was just really taken aback by how little variety you had in the supermarkets here. I just felt so uninspired by it, to be completely honest with you, because in the UK, British people tend to drink a lot of tea, and that can be, you know, the traditional black tea or Earl Grey or herbals or fruit tea. There's such a variety on the market, and we are really spoilt with how many indie brands there are. So, you know, new kind of brands popping up every couple of months with new creations, new flavors. And I loved that, you know. I would spend so much money on my monthly shop in the UK on buying different varieties of tea brands. And then when I arrived here in Dubai, I just didn't have that variety available to me. And I found I was a bit lost, if I was to be honest with you, to start with. And I would phone my mum and I would tell my mum all about it. And she would send these ever so cute care parcels to me every month with all little things to remind me about home or little things I was missing. I know, it was very cute. But it also include tea, and she, you know, things that she spotted, and she'd be like, oh, I was in Morrison's and I saw this and I thought of you, or I was in, you know, Tesco's, and she would send these to me. And this went on for most of 2018 while I was getting used to living in Dubai. And at one point, it just occurred to me, you know, this can't go on. I can't just be looking forward to this parcel coming every month. You know, I need to do something about it. And it's almost like having this light bulb moment where I was like, why can't I do this? You know, I love tea. It's a passion. It's something I'm so interested in. And I love creating new recipes and working in the kitchen and seeing how different flavors marry together. Why can't I fill this gap and bring some new creations to the market? And that's in a nutshell what I did.
Wow. Well, thank God that Dubai didn't have the teas then.
Yes,
It
exactly.
birthed the entire BRW Society. Laura, what were you doing before you know, conceptualized the entire idea and the business around it?
So before Brew, when I was in the UK, I was working for Tata Steel, which is a huge commodity business, and I was moving product around the world. So I was very kind of used to running my own profit and loss, my own business, and moving product to every corner of the world. So I knew that I could do that. But when we moved to Dubai, we really moved because of my husband's career. He had a fantastic opportunity come his way, and we all made the family decision that, you know, this is his moment. We really need to kind of follow that and see where it leads. So when we came to Dubai, I was actually on my third maternity leave with my son. He was 9 months old when we got here. So I had to take the decision to not go back to Tata and to leave that company. And while we moved here, I just, you know, initially I thought I would set the family up, set the kids up, get really used to our new surroundings, figure everything out while we were here, and then focus on my career, maybe after sort of, you know, 6 months, and decide, you know, kind of what path I wanted to go down, because I was with Tata for 15 years. It's all I ever knew. After graduating from university, I went straight, you know, the next month into working for Tata, and I loved it. I had a fantastic career. I traveled the world with Tata. I have, you know, some amazing friendships built from that time. But yeah, it just, this opportunity to move to Dubai came. We thought it was so exciting as a family, and we were right, because amazing things have happened for our family since we moved to Dubai.
Well, that's beautiful. You know, when you're telling me your story, it actually is plugging in all the points of how flow works. So when you take something and you just go with the flow, it just opens up into beautiful opportunities.
Yeah, and I think if you're following your passion, that leads to beautiful things as well, because it organically grows and organically flows. And for me, you know, BRW Society doesn't feel like work. I love talking to my customers. I love seeing my product, you know, all day Saturday, for example. A friend was over from the UK and I took her to see all of our product in every supermarket on the shelves in Dubai, because I'm so passionate about that. And I think it doesn't feel like work. So when you follow your passion, I think, you know, you're onto a winning formula.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think it's so beautiful, because most of the times we think that we've got to, you know, close the toxic chapters, but then sometimes it doesn't need to be a toxic story or a toxic job. It can be amazing, been there, done that, achieved it, and yet move on to something better that is so aligned that with your passion, with who we are, and, you know, create that beautiful space where you think that you're not even working, even though you're working.
Exactly. I completely agree with you. I think it really enriches your life when you are following the things that you love doing. And it makes you work harder too, because you enjoy doing it and you want to achieve more. And it's just great for your well-being, just to have these passions that you follow.
So Laura, take us right into your favorite tea blends. What are the benefits of different teas, and how can we add that into our life that will benefit, you know, not just the weight, but the hormonal balance, the habit of drinking more water and being hydrated? All over to you now.
Sure. I think when it comes to tea, I think, you know, firstly, people should drink tea because they like the flavor of it. You know, I think when we try to put tea up on such a pedestal that it's going to do so much in terms of, you know, transform your life, make you lose all this weight, or whatever you put onto the tea, I think that's wrong. You should drink tea and the flavors because you enjoy it. You know, it's meant to be this ritual, this kind of way for you to slow down in your busy day life and connect with yourself and take some time for yourself. So number one, I think you have to find the teas that you enjoy. And for me, it depends on the time of day. So when I wake up in the morning, I tend to need a little bit of caffeine. I tend to need a hug in a mug to conjure me out of bed, because I tend to wake up early, but I'm a bit slow in the morning. So I usually tend to opt for something like a milky oolong, which is one of my all-time favorite blends. It's kind of it's an oolong tea, so it's pitched somewhere between sort of a green tea and a black tea. So that's just the right amount of caffeine for me in the morning. But it also has this wonderful butterscotch flavor and taste to it. So it just feels like this pick me up in the morning, and someone's wrapping their arms around you and they say, go on, you're going to have a great day. So that would be kind of the first drink I would tend to reach for. And then throughout the morning, I love, like an organic sencha to give you a bit of energy. Again, it's got 0 calories in it, so I feel I can drink as much as I want because it's good for me and it's warm and it's kind of giving me a bit of a caffeine boost. But then as my day kind of progresses, I tend to reduce the caffeine that I drink, because for me, if I drink caffeine too late into the afternoon, I'm usually up all night and I like to get my sleep. So I usually go for something more fruity or a herbal infusion, in the afternoon. I absolutely love and cannot get enough of our organic glow, whether it's hot or cold infused. And we call it our complexion blend as well, because because it's full of antioxidants. It's got berries in there, it has carrot in there, sage in there, so it's really good for really? It's magical. Honestly, it's one of my all-time favorites. And drinking it, you feel like you're doing something good for yourself. You put in hydration, you get that hydration from drinking it, and all of the organic berries and herbs that are in there as well just really kind of makes you feel like you're doing something good for your body. And then as the day progresses, as we were chatting about before we started, I love sort of a chamomile tea. I absolutely love that citrus flowery chamomile flavor. So something like a chamomile or our organic sundaners before bed always just gets my body ready to kind of relax. It's telling my body now's the time you can switch off, start mentally relaxing, to have a good night's sleep.
I am just stuck on the berry ones. I have to try that because
we'll have to get you some.
For a fact, we know for a fact that antioxidants is so important for your skin, your hair, your nails, for anti-aging, for that flexibility or recovering from a crazy workout. And you can't really end up eating a kilo of berries. So
no, it's not practical.
Exactly. Because to get the right amount of antioxidants, you're going to have like the entire cheesecake, maybe. That's the only way you can get so many berries in. But that, I'm hearing it literally for the first time, Laura. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Such an easy addition to someone's life. And you said that it also has sage.
Yes.
My listeners know this, that sage is one of the most cleansing elements to use for cleansing your aura, cleansing your body from negativity. And then if we're just infusing it and drinking it, like, oh my God, that is so, so good. I mean, I'm selling brew more than you.
Thank you.
No, I completely believe in this. I'm so excited to, that it's so easily accessible. I mean, that's the beauty of Feminine Flow, Laura, that people like yourself, you get a download, you have that aha moment, and that's it. That's a creation that everyone can benefit from.
It leads to such great things. It's and our glow is available as well, so you can actually get it in tea bags or loose. So it's so practical whether you're at work or you're at home. But I can't sing the praises of this tea blend, enough, because everyone who tries it becomes addicted to it. It is just a wonderful tea.
Oh, I can't wait for that. Talking about the chamomile tea, before we went live, and rituals are they're so important, and important in a way to the soul, to the mind, to relaxation, to your body, like settling in and saying, okay, it's a good time. So tell us a little bit about what would you suggest is a good evening ritual that, people can follow?
I think it's really important once you've kind of come home from work, and if you have children and you put them to bed, that you really have some time for yourself, because it's not great if you kind of rush from work straight into bed and you're frazzled. I really think you need to give your body the time to kind of just process the day and wind down ready for bed. So I think for me, an important ritual in it is not to eat too late. For number one, we don't try to eat too late as a household, because otherwise that interferes with our sleep. But once we have put all the children to bed and, you know, the night is just for the adults, I really like to try and have my cup of tea, really kind of process the day and just let my body know now is the time I'm switching off. I tend to put all my electrical devices aside so that I'm not going to bed with my mobile phone, WhatsApping people and emailing people in the middle of the night, which I think is just really not healthy at all. And it doesn't give you that chance to switch off and get ready for the next day. So yeah, my routine would be turning your phones off, having a really relaxing cup of tea that has no caffeine in it, so definitely a herbal. I would recommend a herbal over a fruit infusion as well, because the herbals really kind of help the body unwind, and they have this mindfulness to them where, you know, you getting into that headspace of relaxation and it's time for bed. So they would be the two things I would kind of recommend doing to get ready for bed.
Yeah, I love that. Like we were discussing earlier, and for our listeners, you know, I always talk about wrapping up the day and energetically removing what's in your head, do a little journaling, put a little music, and that's a vibe in itself. And you don't want to kill that vibe with a glass of wine, right? So it's best replaced with a chamomile tea.
Chamomile tea or an organic sundowners, or even something like a ginger and lemon, if that's, you know, there's so many varieties there. We also have a moringa supercharge, which is a herbal tea, which is great before bed as well, if you prefer, you know, more of a kind of citrusy, grassy kind of taste to your tea. It really depends, but you want something where you become completely engrossed in it. So you take that time for yourself, you put the kettle on, you wait for the kettle to boil, you pour your tea, you watch it infuse. All of that just makes you slow. It forces you to slow down. And that, I think, then allows your brain to start relaxing and thinking, right, it's time for bed and I can really switch off a little now.
I am so loving the vibe with this conversation. It is like, okay, slow down, slow down, slow down.
Yeah.
I think that's the base of managing weight, is to slow down. If you're always rushing, trying to take off 10,000 steps, 10,000 this and 100 jumping jacks or burpees or whatever is it that we're doing, we're never slowing down, and your body is in fight or flight and is in high attention mode. That I think that the most simple thing of, you know, changing that weight journey is to first slow down and give your body the support. Having said that, Laura, what in your opinion are the myths that people have when it comes to weight and when it comes to weight and teas?
So I think when it comes to teas, I think a lot of people believe that a tea can salvage everything. You know, you can drink a detox tea, or you can drink you know, like a wellness tea, and it's going to fix everything. And I think that is a myth. That's not true. Will it help? Yes. Will it support a healthy lifestyle, or will it sort of, you know, support you, for example, as we were just talking about, you know, mindfulness and relaxation going to bed? Yes, but it's not, you know, going to 100% be effective on its own. You have to work with it. So one of the myths, you know, I hear all the time is from people asking, you know, what detox tea do you have? I want to lose 10 pounds. And, you know, I really have strong opinions about this. And I'm like, you know, you really have to look at your lifestyle, change your lifestyle. It doesn't have to be so dramatic in terms of I want to lose 10 pounds this week. What tea is going to do that? Because whatever tea is going to do that is not a healthy tea, and you shouldn't be drinking it. You should really be looking at your diet, you know, figuring out what's right for you, trying to make small changes in your life. You know, for example, you maybe drink less coffee with milk, and in the afternoon you replace it with a herbal tea. That definitely is a benefit to your body and your health. Maybe try walking for 10 minutes and take, you know, a fruit infusion with you to keep you hydrated, so that it helps you complete the walk. So I think tea is a great wing person, if you want, you know, for when you want to be healthier, because, you know, most teas don't have any calories. They can give you a bit of power to help you through kind of, you know, if you're on a calorie restricted diet, or if you're at the gym. So tea definitely has its advantages, but tea isn't this magic wand that you can just sip. throughout the day, and it's going to erase every Deliveroo meal you've ordered, or every, kind of fast food lunch that you've
Yeah.
ordered. You have to be really realistic. And in terms of when it comes to weight, most of the myths I think I've kind of gone through myself in the 40 years I've been on the planet, where I think certain things will help and it doesn't. And I think one of the things for me, I always felt if I skipped a meal, or that would really help, and it doesn't help because it's not sustainable. You need to have your 3 meals a day. I really try now to make sure I have some snacks. I put some nuts on my desk at work, so if I feel hungry or I feel like I'm having a dip in energy, I can have some nuts too. So I definitely think skipping meals is also not the long-term solution either.
So much of resourceful information there. And I love, and this is, why there's something so authentic about what you're saying, Laura, that it doesn't, just having a tea is not going to change your entire life. It's one of the things that brings that balance, brings that slowing down, brings that mindfulness, brings a little detox, brings a little hydration.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty, because life is not about you do just this and then don't do anything. You just go hustle and life will happen, or you just meditate and everything will fall in place. It's this and this and this and this and that. It's the culmination and the marriage of all these different elements. So I love that you're constantly bringing that authenticity to your message. So thank you about that.
You're welcome.
Laura, in your experience and your own expertise around traveling the globe for work and then into this part of the world, do you feel that there is an element of cultural upbringing, of conditioning in our bringing, in our families where we live, that has an impact on the way we look at weight and the way we deal with it?
Definitely. Growing up in my own in my own family, I think there's certain things, kind of that affect how you think of weight and how you should look at what you should do. I think in my younger years, when I was kind of, in my 20s through university, I think I probably went on every fad diet that there was out there. I think there's not one I probably haven't tried. And I think that's because you are conditioned, whether it be from not necessarily maybe at home with your parents, but your friends and the circles and the magazines that you read and what you see on TV, you think you should look a certain way. And, you would pretty much let yourself go without things to try and look that way. I remember being at university, and I think I was on a constant diet for the whole 4 years I was there, because I felt I should look in terms of a certain way. And I'd count my calories, and I was quite sort of strict with myself, but my weight definitely fluctuated quite a lot because it's just, it wasn't sustainable, and I wasn't realizing that or really taking that message on board when I was in my 20s, for sure. I just think now, since I've had children, and I think long and hard about how I want them to think about themselves and how they should be in life, I just want to make sure that they're just healthy, they're happy, and they appreciate kind of themselves and what their bodies do for them every day. So, I try and really make sure that they see the message, that they should be healthy, that they should make healthy choices in terms of what they eat, and that exercise is good, but exercise can also be fun. And it doesn't have to be so regimented. If you don't want to go for that run, give yourself a break, as long as you're trying to be healthy and look at it over a week period, that you're making good food choices, you feel full and at mealtime, but you try and obviously get some exercise and movement, and it can be going for a walk or going for a cycle as a family. Just, I think it's important to keep kids and myself active, for my kids to see me being active, so they take that on board, and that becomes part of their everyday normal life going forward.
It's so wonderful. There's something that I love about this conversation is you paint this very holistic, balanced, aligned, joyful life. And at the end of the day, I think that's what everybody wants.
Yeah, I think a lot of people put so much pressure on themselves. And I think, we all forget to remember sometimes what our bodies do for us on a daily basis. I'm so grateful to my body. I carried 3 wonderful children. I have 3 beautiful children. They're healthy. I'm healthy. And I think, we need to take a step back sometimes and stop giving, we're our hardest critics, right? We have to stop giving ourselves such a hard time, and live and just accept, our bodies for what they are and the amazing things they do every day, instead of putting these really tough, unrealistic goals on ourselves, which I just don't feel are necessary.
So true, so true. Laura, for everybody listening, where can they find Brew Society tea blends? What is the other information you'd like to share with them? Do you have any such events that they can come and join and have a little bit of the taste?
So today in Dubai, Brew Society products are available on our website, which is www.brwsociety.com. You can also purchase our products from various other marketplaces in Dubai, such as Mum's World, Amazon, Noon. We're also in all of the major retailers. So if you shop at Spinneys or Waitrose or Grandiose, Giant, Carrefour, I'm really hoping I haven't forgotten one. All of the supermarkets stock our products, and we like to put different ones in different supermarkets too. So you'll find a different collection in all of the different supermarkets. But our exciting news is that we are expanding. Our products will be available in Panda in Saudi this year, which is super exciting for us to enter into the Saudi market. And we're just really excited to do that. But in terms of Brew Society, we are always going to increase our product range. We have some really exciting developments and new products coming later this year, which I'm so excited to show people. I'm sure people can come and try them for free. We love to work very closely with Tish Tash and take part in all their events, so people can try the products there. And we'll be popping up all over different places between now and the end of the year, so people will have lots of opportunities to come and try the product for free, whether it be in a supermarket or at an event. I'm sure everyone's going to see a lot of Brew Society this year.
Well, I'm definitely going to get the antioxidant one for sure. Thank
Organic
you so
glow.
much. Yes. Thank you so much, Laura, for joining Saymore. Before you go, the podcast is called Saymore. What, according to you, should people be saying more about?
I think people should be saying more about kindness and just how to be kind, and ensuring that we say something kind to somebody every day. It can be just something very small, like "Thank you for helping me," or "I really appreciate you doing that. That's been really helpful." I think if we could all wake up every morning and just say more kind things to people, the world will just be a much better place to be.
That is such a beautiful message. And what a wonderful way to end today's episode. Thank you so much, Laura, and for joining us and sharing Brew Society with everybody listening and watching us on YouTube. Everybody, slow down, make that evening ritual one of the most beautiful things that you will do, so that you can end your day and wake up tomorrow and literally have that wholesome life. Until the next time, say more and live a big life. Bye for now.